All right, here we go. What's going on, everybody? This is my first stream, so I'm just basically just practicing and getting all of this set up. So don't mind if this isn't amazing, but I just saw that the chapter had dropped. It was earlier than I expected. I tried to stream a little bit earlier, but yeah, I had to get somewhere else, and so I didn't really have time to finish. So I'm gonna try to dive back into the chapter. Probably not gonna show too much of the panels, although I want to show a little bit if I can. But real quick, welcome to my channel. This is Makhaioshin. Today I'm basically just doing a live reaction to One Piece chapter 1159. Maybe diving a little bit into some of the ideas, big ideas and hype in this chapter, but for the most part, no panel spam in the chat. There's really not going to be anyone here. This is my first video. But in general, I'll try to avoid putting any types of specific panels in the chat. Of course, no piracy links for the live reactions for these kinds of days. I know that the best thing to do for those of us with the itch to just get to the next chapter is to go to various different websites to find the latest chapter. But I always want to support the official release. I do have my own subscription to Viz Media and Shonen Jump, so I can support financially any of the official releases of any chapters that have come out. So I just want to be on top of any of the latest chapters as I start to stream more, so that I can continue to debate ideas and, of course, avoid debating with people. So anyone, whoever is here in future videos, I also want to set that as a ground rule for what's ahead for future streams, whether we're unpacking themes, power scaling, whatever reveals take place in the final saga that are super hype. So let's settle in and check out what's going on with this new chapter. So I wonder to what degree is it worth me showing the screen? Let's see. Let's see what y'all can see. But I don't want to consistently do it. Let's see what happens. Can y'all see? Let's see if I reload this. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the chapter images are really popping up, which might be fine. I might have to go back and forth between this anyways. But here we are, chapter 1159, The Island of Destiny. So we got the cover page, the cover story here, Oni Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 40. Now that I've had my fill in Ringo, I'll head back to the Flower Capital. Now I did review this part of the chapter earlier. It's a cool little spread. I like the imagery. It looks like Yamato, Page 1, and Ulti, along with, I think the fox's name is Onimaru. I got to double check that. And that's the fox that had the Zoan fruit to transform into a human. It was going by Gukimaru or something like that earlier in like the Wano arc. So they're going back to the capital. There was that cool reveal with the name change of Gecko Moria, apparently in Japanese. Maybe readers in Japan had theories for those who can read in the language. But if you reverse the kanji, I believe, then the gecko is read as Kozoki. And there's a lot of other people that have already talked about some of the relationships, some of the things that were set up in Thriller Bark arc and in some other arcs that made some more connections between Kozoki or Gecko Moria and the Kozoki clan and his connections to Wano. Of course, we know that in his youth, he had fought against Kaido and had his entire crew wiped out back in his youth in Ringo. So it's a cool little reveal. I hope that this cover story goes somewhere and that it connects to the main story, similar to how we saw with the Whole Cake Island cover arc, and we saw that Aokiji and them had the Blackbeard pirates had captured Pudding. So it would be cool to see that happen, but we'll see what happens with this. It would be great to see that animated as well at some point. Let's move on with the chapter. I need a better way to do this that doesn't like the entire panel, because I can get a little iffy. But we go back 39 years ago to the pirate island of Hachinosu. The curtains of chaos rise. So it's raining. They're on Hachinosu. Of course, we need stormy weather because, it's a sad day. Shaki has been captured, as we know in the last chapter. So we have some exclamation mark questions. Are you sure you searched properly? It happened during last night's watch. Don Marlon and the others were killed. Don Marlon couldn't protect her? No way. Who could have done this? So I was saying earlier in my mini stream that I did before I had to take off that I wish we got to see more from Don Marlon because this man didn't really get to do much. Like, he's got that Capone Game Beige vibe, that mafia vibe, but he just was killed off screen. He's got that off screen death, and I guess maybe he was in charge of defending Shaki. I don't know. Maybe he was just hanging out at the rip-off bar. But we can see a bunch of pirates from Hachinosu are here reacting to his death, and they're clearly very upset about this. What did you say? Rox is saying. Huh? Whitebeard's reacting. Our Shaki's been kidnapped. Narrator, it all happened in just a few hours. And yet, not a single clue was found. Everyone's reacting. Ooh. I forget the name of that guy. Caribou's dad looking guy. What was his name? What was that guy's name? I know people have been calling him Caribou's dad. We don't even know if he's related. Is it Ochoku? Yeah, Ochoku, one of the Rock's Pirates crewmates. So he looks happy. It looks like he's counting money. So he must have been the trader. I know earlier in one of the other chapters they were talking about there potentially being a trader. He might have been that guy because it looks like he's excited. He's got sparkles, the little nose run. He's smiling, counting money, it looks like. And then you go to the next panel and you see someone crying. The narrator is going on. With chaos breaking loose, the pirates trembled in rage. Please be safe, Shaki. And then you see this crazy panel of Goldie Roger tearing the newspaper apart because he's reacting to this news. Rox, you bastard! What the hell are you doing? I'll end you! And the news spread across the seas. Even Rayleigh is reacting. Shaki! To the Kuja Pirates Empress being kidnapped. People were devastated, even their smiles wiped away. And it was said that even the world's economy came to a halt for weeks, which I was saying earlier, that's insane. Like, I know that they're saying that Shaki is the most beautiful woman in the world, and people have been calling this Goon Valley, Goon Piece. Everyone's loving this woman. She's beautiful. I understand that. That's insane that the world's economy is going for a halt for weeks. I don't know what to say about that. That's just insane. But I got to look up to see if anything like that has ever happened in history. Because, hey, Shaki, I understand why people went to war for Shaki. I think that personally, I got to get through this chapter, but I think that Rox isn't going there just for Shaki. Because we know in the previous chapter that Big Mom, Charlotte Linlin, and some of the other women, their women's intuition was telling them that Rox had someone else in his life and maybe even a child. So I think there's more to it. I know I've seen people theorizing in the community that he's going because of his crew to save face because they stole what was seen as the crown jewel of Hachinosu. They had pirates coming all over saying that Shaki's ripoff bar was a neutral zone for pirates on the Beehive Island of Hachinosu. So I don't know. He has his reasons. I think it's personally for family, but we're going to find out because now we're moving over to West Blue, God Valley, 1 year after that incident. 1 year after that incident. Wait, has Shaki been missing for 1 year? Am I understanding that? West Blue, God Valley, 1 year after that incident. I'm assuming they're talking about 1 year after Shaki was taken, but that's a big jump. I guess let's find out. Garling, I'm so glad to see you. So this must be the woman that Garling had twins with, baby Shanks and Shamrock. I knew you'd come back. Shamrock, Shanks, it's Daddy. And you see Garling, Figureling Garling just sitting there, ... He's saying, they're twins, right? How adorable. Of course, they're your children. Please, Garling, stay with me on this island. Wah, little baby. If I had to live anywhere, it wouldn't be here. This island will be erased. What? I've already decided, and I've ordered a wife worthy of me. If I win in this tournament, I'll take her for myself. Tournament? And there's a bunch of world government ships that are sailing up to the island. Oh, and like I saw earlier, it's crazy that You see the babies crying. He had stabbed the woman, and I said earlier, I don't understand why Garling did this. We've seen celestial dragons, Tenryubito, take women against their will to the top of the red line, to the Holy Land of Marijua, and he clearly had twins with her. And he's obviously interested in the kids. He said, "These kids are adorable," and we know that in the current story, Garling raised Shamrock or brought Shamrock back to the Holy Land. We know that even Shanks, after the Roger Pirates disbanded, returned to the Holy Land. So, I mean, he has the kids. He might. I know that they said that he had tried to convince the God Valley Kingdom to join the world government, and I think it's crazy. I mean, I understand. I wouldn't want to join the world government either, especially knowing what they did and if they're aware of it at all. We don't know to what extent the government in the Kingdom of Gone Valley, the royalty, understand about the world government, but clearly their military is trash. They do not have a military force that can contend with the allied nations of the world government. And even in the real world, we see smaller nations politically on the global scale, they can get bullied around very easily by larger, more powerful nations with superior militaries, more advanced militaries and weaponry. I don't think a nation is necessarily better just because they have better weapons, but I think that they should have at least set up some kind of negotiations, because understanding for your people, you don't want to become like them, but you have to protect your people, and you're not protecting your people by just flat out saying no. Even the warlords made an agreement by sending, having a powerful representative, like for example with Boa Hancock, the pirate empress, being a so-called dog of the world government, of the military, to protect her kingdom, the Kuja pirates and Amazon Lily from the world government. So I don't know. God Valley should the royalty, they kind of screwed up here, but Garling is wilding because did Garland just play the role of a benevolent, I don't know, did he just play the role of like a good person and just live with her long enough that she got pregnant and had twins, like a emissary for the world government, until he was like, you know what, we don't need this anymore. So I don't know what's going on here, but let's continue with the chapter. Figure that Garling's saying, begin the preparations in that snail. What are those snail things called? The transponder snails. Yes, sir. We'll dock now. So the Marines are entering the island. The citizens are saying, is that a world government ship? They've surrounded the island. Is there a criminal or something here? Get the kids back home. And then the world government, there's some talk maybe on like a transponder snail. Use only tranquilizer darts. Capture anyone who doesn't resist. Lieutenant, sir, what's the goal of this strategy? It's training. You'll need another 10 years in the Navy before you get to ask questions, recruit. But what's with this cocky brat, Commander? Forgive him. He wasn't raised with much discipline. Civilians, hey, did something happen to you guys? Thud, people are falling. Yeah! Don't resist. We won't hurt you. Huh? Run! You'll be captured. Why? They're just citizens. Don't think. The troops doesn't need your opinion. Focus on the mission. Yes, sir. So clearly, this is Monkey D. Dragon, recruit young Monkey D. Dragon. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. We're seeing young Monkey D. Dragon as a recruit. And I was saying earlier, this has to be the incident where Monkey D. Dragon, as a young Marine, realized that the Marines had no, or the world government and the Marines had no justice, and how he got pushed to start founding the Revolutionary Army to oppose the world government. And it makes sense. And I thought that maybe, I know there was theories saying that Monkey D. Dragon might have been a vice admiral or an admiral alongside of Admiral Akainu Sakazuki, but clearly he's not. Clearly, I mean, I guess we'll have to see. Maybe some time passed since Gone Valley, because we know in other chapters that he, one of the big things that pushed him towards founding his organization was the genocide that happened on the island of Alhara, when they were trying to basically wipe out all of the scholars and anyone who could read the poneglyphs, and they decided to also commit genocide and massacre all of the civilians that were escaping from the island. So maybe he didn't leave right away, but already you could see his sense of justice is making him question the order in the military. And we all know militaries do not, they have a way of breaking down you from a civilian to a soldier, and a good soldier follows orders. Like the clone troopers say in Star Wars, good troopers follow orders, and that's what these people are saying. The lieutenants, the commanders, they're saying, don't think this is a training exercise. Follow orders. So huff huff, it's fine, just tranquilizers. They can't kill anyone. So he's having cognitive dissonance. He's trying to convince himself this is fine, but clearly it's not fine. It looks like he also has handcuffs on his side or something, and he's aiming his tranquilizer dot. Marine Monkey D. Dragon, future Revolutionary Army leader, and Luffy's father. He's saying, my bad, but if you let me capture you, I won't shoot. I don't know what's happening, but I'm leaving. Move out. Thump, thump. So he shot some of them, it looks like. Huff. Mass on, someone's saying on the transponder says. They're throwing hypnosis gas bombs. That's crazy. This whole situation as well. Marine prison ship transporting slaves. Beep, 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 beep. So I think that's like some kind of Morse code. We're at a marine ship and we're hearing these beeps, and we see the narrator saying communications room. Looks like someone's in there. And yeah, we see Ginny and Ivankov, who we know Ginny was using, was leaked the information out so that pirates and other people from all over would head to God Valley to go rescue Shaki, or do whatever so they can plan their escape in the chaos of people arriving for whatever treasures were available here, whatever information Ginny sent out there. So Ginny's saying, brother, Ivankov, Ginny, are you okay? It worked out just right. From here, the informants will make sure the word gets out. The other enslaved people, keep quiet, you lot. Don't stick your noses where they don't belong. You'll drag us into trouble. Trouble? Says Ivankov. Are you an idiot or what? We're all going to die. Do you even know where this ship's headed? You really think luck's going to save someone who won't even fight for their life? Miracles don't just fall from the sky. Brother! Someone shut the slaves up. Ah, yeah! Such lively slaves. That's Kuma. Kuma's listening to all this commotion. I really like Ivankov. Ivankov in the main story hasn't gotten as much hype as I think he deserves, especially us knowing that apparently Ivankov and Kuma were considered pillars of the Revolutionary Army. I hope that Ivankov shows out. Like, we saw Ivankov fight a little bit during Marineford and during the escape from Impel Down. I really want Ivankov to be a strong fighter, because the Revolutionary Army, in comparison to the Marines with the admirals, now they have the God Knights with the world government. They have Cypherpole, Aegis Zero. Like, the God Knights, like I said, like, we don't know who else they have. And Emu. And right now, all they have is Dragon, who's just operating off of hype, that we're hoping is a powerful fighter. I think he should be. He trained Sabo. We saw that Sabo is pretty well trained in hockey, probably has real, we saw with like his Dragon Claw attack, Dragon Breath, like all that stuff. So I'm assuming he learned all that hockey training from Monkey D. Dragon. And the trope in shonen manga is that the fathers of the main characters tend to be very strong, like going in Hunter x Hunter with his father Jing, Ichigo and Bleach with his father being a former captain. So Naruto and Naruto's father being the fourth Hokage. So I don't know. We'll see. He should be pretty strong, but I'm hoping that Ivankov shows out. I like Ivankov's attitude here. He's right. Like, what can be worse than them being sent to an island as enslaved people who are going to be hunted? So you might as well do everything you can to fight for your life now. So we'll see what happens from there. So now we're at the Cypherpole Intelligence Bureau. An outrageous report? What is it this time? Don't play dumb. I know you caught wind of this too. Now hand over the money. What I'm saying is you'd better pay me to keep my mouth shut. How the heck? And this is Morgan's president of the World Economy Journal. And he's a youngin' here, 40 years ago, 39 years ago. And he's still up to the same crap he's doing, embellishing stories, sending this information out. You see the CP agent saying, how the hell does some local rag with a kitty name get info like this? You know you could be erased any second, right? Try me. Either way, I'll leak it to Pirate Island. So now I'm Pirate, and the Pirate Island of Hachinosu has heart eyes, which is insane. So they're reacting. Shaki is alive? Maybe a year really did pass. Where have they been holding Shaki for a year? Like, what? For real? What a relief. Where is she? God Valley? Where the hell's that? Yeah, so God Valley being an unaffiliated country in the West Blue, most people probably haven't heard of it. It's probably not on many world maps. Probably considered in the boonies for many people. And we see the ugly face, the like triple chin face of Oshoku. Sounds shady. Is that source even reliable? Is that Captain John? Some Navy branch leaked it out. No doubt about it. Oh no, that's Stussy saying that, I think. Yeah, and I think Gloriosa's in the back reacting to hard eyes. So they're happy. Captain John, the Celestial Dragons made her a prize in their sick little game? And is that Shiki? I think that's Shiki. Yeah, Shiki. Damn it. So the one who took Shaki are with the government? Shaki-chan! Whitebeard. I always thought it was just a rumor, but this human hunt of the Celestial Dragons really does exist. Lin, they've got some devil fruits too, Kaido. You wanted one as well, didn't you? Kaido, what kind of powers do those fruits have? This one would be perfect for me, kid. For my kid, I'm sure of it. So maybe Big Mom, maybe she got a fruit that she gave to one of her kids. Maybe she found, maybe Katakuri or someone got his devil fruit, the mochi mochi fruit from this island. Who knows how many devil fruits are here? We know for certain that Kuma gets the pop off fruit from this island. We know that Big Mom ends up feeding Kaido the mythical fish fruit, Zoan, the model Azure Dragon, even against his will or to save his life. We know that Big Mom was talking about how Kaido owed her. So something happened on that island. Maybe we'll find out in this flashback, hopefully. And we have Strusen. This is clearly a trap, isn't it? Shut the hell up, said Rox. If you're gutless, then rot here on the island. I'm coming for you, God Valley. And now we pan over to the Roger Pirates. Who's that talking on the Roger Pirates? I'm trying to zoom in. That's not Gabon. Who's talking? Hey, Gabon, where's God Valley? Not that close, but we'll make it in time. Roger, what do you say, crew? Heck yeah! Yo, even Rayleigh is really knows he wants to rescue Shaki. The last thing that he heard from Shaki was that she gave him a love letter, so I think he's feeling it now. And if she's truly been missing for a year, and I gotta verify that, and everyone's been like super down, being like, oh my gosh, what happened to Shaki? Yeah, it's time. The boys are about to pull up, and it's gonna be crazy. Rock's saying so. Rock's already made his move. Don't let him get there first. Narrator saying, by sheer irony, those few classified details ended up provoking the monsters of the seas. No way. Even Roger? This is Garp. Why didn't you say that earlier? I'm going. Look there. A giant ship. Doesn't matter. Sink it. Wait. What is it? Out of the way, Rocks. I was told to stop any crew that got led around by a single woman, Rocks. And you know, it doesn't take much to sink a puny ship like that. This is Harold, King Harold, on his giant ship with his soldiers is pulling up against Rocks. And we see several soldiers with horns too. So these are giants with ancient giant blood. And these ancient giants are still significantly smaller than Harold. King Harold is huge. I need to see the measurements of these giants because it gets crazy. And I know giants are kind of disappointing. We talked about, and we've heard so much hype about Elbaf, the Kingdom of the Giants on Moorland, having the most powerful army in the world, which if you're just comparing human-sized individuals to giants, then yeah, by sheer size, absolutely. But there's not many hype giants in terms of like named characters that are really that powerful. Like even the giant warrior pirates, like who's really that strong? Haridin win extreme diff against one of Doflamingo's henchmen, the Makhaioshin, the guy with the ton fruit, which it's a powerful fruit, but Makhaioshin in the grand scheme of things ain't that crazy. So I don't know. I hope Howard Dean is stronger, has better showings. He has the potential to have Conqueror's Haki because his father Harold does, and we know Harold is strong. Harold is as powerful as Rox, at least, and we know that Rox is Roger's greatest rival from this era of Legends, and so Harold is a top tier, the most powerful giant we've seen, one of the most powerful characters in the series. He could be in the top 10. He's at least top 20. It's really hard to scale characters in the series. Like a lot of people have overlap, but we saw that they were going back and forth when their friendship ended, and Harold disappointingly was trying to kill Rock. So like I kind of understand, but it was kind of crazy how he did it. But yeah, so Harold is here with his crew. Yeah, we got Dorian Brogy. We know Loki. Whole Loki's been hyped. We got to see how powerful he is. But we know he had a super high bounty and was taken down by Shanks, who's an emperor. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. But Harold is saying, see that ship? That's a government escort. So he's talking to Rox. So this is your plan to rack up credit with the World Government Alliance? You're underestimating us way too much, big old king. Oh, shoot. And we got Lin, Kaido, and Whitebeard in the background. It reminds me of those silhouettes that we saw in earlier chapters, hyping up Rox and the Rox pirate crew. So in the end, you'd have us put up with the government and let those dogs just sit back and watch us fight to the death? You're nothing but a lunatic trying to change Elbaf, huh? How about you and me sit down for a talk? Rox really got aura. And like, he really does look so much like Teach, like Blackbeard. But this flashback, even though I know this is supposed to be like Harold's flashback, Loki flashback, this Rox it's basically a Rox flashback, and I'm loving everything because we see basically everything in this series. They're tying so much back to these characters from the Rox pirate crew in this era. Like we know that the Yonko system was developed out of this crew with Blackbeard. I mean, with Whitebeard, Shirohige, Newgate, whatever you want to call him, Charlotte Linlin, Big Bomb, and eventually Kaido, like all becoming Yonko. We see characters, Captain John's treasure that was hyped up with Buggy earlier in the series. We obviously know the connection between Rox and Teach as his father, the inspiration for all these crews. Shiki, Golden Lion Shiki, one of the only people to break out of Impel Down. Maybe have a plan. I hope Shiki shows up in the series. I know Oda came out saying he didn't like Shiki having a fruit that let him fly, like the float fruit. But I know that Chapter 0 is considered canon, and he said that he'd have a plan in 2 years or 20 years. So I really want Shiki to show up because we know other characters were around. We know Blackbeard, Law, and Kobe teamed up on Hachinosu and took down one of the Rox pirates. And that earns, some titles for them. Kobe got the hero title and all that stuff. Law was able to take a bunch of pirate hearts from the Rocky Port incident, delivered them, became a warlord. And Blackbeard, with that and defeating during the Revenge War against the remnants of the Whitebeard pirates, became an emperor. So there's so much in the story connected back to the Rox pirates. Even this character, Otroka, potentially being Caribou's father. There's a lot going on. But let me just get through this chapter. So they're pouring some sake out. But there's something I want to tell you. Something I'm not about to tell my crew. So this is Rox talking. What business could you possibly have with him, my king? That bastard's just stalling. And right now, my Shaki must be waiting for someone to save her. Shiki's hilarious, man. Shiki deserved to be... He's a Yonko candidate, too, for sure. I wonder if Shiki has Conqueror's Haki. It's not confirmed. I wouldn't be surprised, but maybe not. He might just be a really powerful guy. I carry a hidden name. Davy D. Zebek. So we knew earlier that Rock said that he was a follower of Davy Jones, the legendary figure that we know in our real world. And I might have to do some research and analysis on Davy Jones and the myth and legends of Davy Jones. But now we know that Marshall D. Teach, his true lineage isn't Rox, it's Davy D. Teach. Maybe Marshall is the name of his mother. Maybe his mother was also a D clan member. Maybe she was Marshall D, whatever her name is. And just like Ace took on the name of his mother, Portgas D. Rouge, instead of Gold D. Rogers' surname, maybe Teach did the same. But Davy, wow. So wasn't it Rox? Harold's saying. Rox is saying the world government must have been trying to erase that family name all along, because our ancestor was none other than the legendary pirate Davy D. Jones himself. That's why we impose our influence in the world of darkness, just to scrape by. World of darkness, huh? Is that have anything to do with the Yami Yami no Mi, the darkness fruit? Or is he just basically just saying world of darkness like in piracy? Like just living working in the underworld and then not directly in with the world government and things that would consider to be like mainstream society. Maybe that's what he's talking about. So they're sitting down having a conversation, and Rox really does, even though Rox said, "Hey, our friendship is over" after their last fight on Elbaf, outside of the bar that Ida was running. He still clearly respects and cares about Harold, and he must, in some way, still consider him a friend because he's sitting down having drinks and telling Harold something that he wouldn't even tell his crew. He was saying earlier that uh, there's something I want to tell you, something I'm not gonna tell my crew about. So that's crazy. So really, he has no one that he really trusts and cares about that much, or really considers friends. And we know that about the Rock's Pirates. Like they were always, we saw earlier in previous chapters that the Rock's Pirates were willing to shiki throwing bombs in trying to get rid of some people, so they had more stuff that they can split and everything. So yeah, the Rock's Pirates, they all have their own agendas and they're just going at it. But yeah, Rox really respects Harold still. So he's chugging some of that sake in the giant cup. He's saying, I don't know if it was good luck or bad, but 2 years ago, my son was born. So danger would never even come close to the two of them. I sent them back to my homeland with this message: rely on the Davy family. Harold saying, I see. So your kin, wife, and son are all in your homeland? But why tell me your weakness so openly? My homeland is God Valley. Oh, the connections, the connections. Oda's really trying to connect everything together. So the Davy clan lived on God Valley. Maybe that is what Garling found out. Something about the Davy clan in relations to Davy D. Jones. Maybe he found something related to that family on God Valley, and that's why they wanted to hold the hunting tournament there and destroy it, wipe it off the map, so they can get rid of someone who's crucial to something related to the Void Century and something that could threaten Imu's regime. So Harold's saying, so the government's trying to lure you there? No, that island's crawling with celestial dragons. It's not that they want me there. For them, too, it was a miscalculation. He looks so much like Teach right here, as he said that. It feels like I'm being dragged by something greater, as if it were fate itself. They made a big mistake when they stole Shaki from us. If my wife and son can just escape, that's enough for me. Seems luck's not on my side, Harold. Give me a hand. I refuse. I'll end you here and now. That's so. Then step up and face me. Stay out of this. Huh? Yeah, so Harold's saying stay out of this to his crewmate. They're all surprised, like, what do you mean, Your Majesty? Narrator saying, it's hard to believe, but once every 3 years, the Celestial Dragons choose a non-member nation rich in resources. And there they hold their twisted game of human hunting, slaughtering all the native inhabitants. You coward! So there's an explosion on the ship. So what happened? So they're just fighting on the ship? I can't believe Harold's still trying to fight Rocks. That's insane to me. Knowing everything he knows, I understand that he wants to have good relationships with the humans and other nations that the giants in the past, the giant warriors, terrorized throughout the worlds through violence, and he wants to create positive, peaceful connections and establish trade and cultural exchange. But you've seen what the world government is capable. He even attacked cypherpole agents that were enslaving people and shot a woman right in front of him. Like, he knows that the world government isn't good, and he knows that I understand that they're the best option for him to facilitate connections with other member nations in the world and just other kingdoms and societies. But man, I understand Rox is considered a terrorist and a pirate, and I'm not saying join Rox, but Rox is a more trustworthy person. He's willing to share like information he won't share with anyone else, and just open and honest with Harold. I'm not saying trust him 100%, but like, hey man, the world government is grimy. It is absolutely grimy. Please help! This can't be real. So the citizens are just. So is this the final panel? Do I want to show this panel? I guess it doesn't matter too much. Here, I might show it in a little bit. Let's share it real quick. Hold up. Let's share this panel. Oh shoot. I wasn't at the right chapter. I'm skipping through. Yep. There they are. There they are. I probably shouldn't stay on this too long. Stop sharing. Let me stop sharing. But it says, on the day of the God Valley incident, and now after the rarest of devil fruits, this is the grand prize of the competition. On the Grand Line, within the Calm Belt, there truly exists an island of women. Here is its former empress, renowned as the most beautiful woman in the world. Her name is Shakayaku. Wow! Whether you make her your wife or your slave is up to you. She's gorgeous. I want one like that. This is crazy to read. The way they're dehumanizing her and just putting her off as a prize. Like, you see all these heart eyes of these celestial dragons, tongues out, kissy faces. I want one like that. Insane. This piece has been preserved in pristine condition under strict protection. A first-rate item. Calling her an item. Putting her out on like a prize. But oh, the world government. I can't wait to see the world government get clapped, man. I cannot wait for the final war and see the world government and the celestial dragons get absolutely rocked. Just like Luffy and these other people knocking the heck out of celestial dragons. I need that on the grand scale, man. So badly. I'm going to do more discussions and deep dives on the celestial dragons and world governments and some of the parallels between some of the actions that are taking place here, like the human hunting, slavery, of course, and all these different things. But yeah, celestial dragons, wow. Wow, Somers, win this and bring her into the shepherd family. No way. If I win, I'll make her my slave. Garland's saying she'll be my wife. Forget it, Somers. Gunko, if you join in, we might just take the trophy in the clan wars. So Gunko is, I know people were theorizing that Gunko, there was some stuff with panels and being like, oh, she didn't have the saint title. And people weren't sure if she was a, kind of like Loki, someone that they wanted to recruit and recruited into the God Knights. But it looks like Gunko is part of a clan of the Celestial Dragons. Can't remember if Gunko's family name was confirmed, but I'll have to look back and find out. Now, Dragon walked into a room. Why does Monkey D. Dragon's face look like Gear 4 Luffy right here? He looks so much like Gear 4 Luffy in a weird way. Maybe that's coincidence, or maybe not. I don't know. But someone's saying, please, get my children off this island. Don't let them fall into that bastard's hands. Oh, that's Blackbeard's mom. So we see a woman in a corner. She's bleeding out. And it looks like Dragon walked into the Fransaris. And oh, is she chained up? Yeah, so she must have been captured as one of like the human rabbits that they wanted to put. I hate saying that, but like one of the people that they wanted to hunt. And Dragon is coming across them, and the mom is saying, with chains on her arms, and Teach is chained up too. Come here, Teach. Come here, Teach. It's all right. You've got to survive. And back to the speakers. And now I'll speak of something every world noble already knows. Here in this tournament, not just the Buccaneer runs, but after 800 years at last, the Davy family has finally been revealed. Here, their bonds will be forged. So they're announcing the Davy clan is here. So the Celestial Dragons, maybe I didn't give them enough credit. The Celestial Dragons know more than might be let on earlier in the series. I wonder how many of the Celestial Dragons outside of the God Knights know about Imu's existence and how much they know about the Void Sentry, because we know that the Celestial Dragons don't want the Void Sentry, things related to the Ancient Kingdom, Joy Boy, the Poneglyphs, and all those different things to be known. So what do the general Celestial Dragons outside of the God's Knights know about the Void Sentry and these connections? They clearly know some things because they're very much aware of who the Davy clan is. And they tell stories to scare their children about the D clan, those with the middle initial D, carrying the will of D. So they know something. And that's the end of the chapter. This chapter is amazing. I need to gather my thoughts and reread this chapter and see if there's anything that I can get from this chapter that I missed. I love the interactions between Harold and Rox. I'm trying to understand like what happened. Did Harold let Rox go? Like, are they genuinely fighting on that ship? Like, what's gonna result from this? And I wonder, is this the last time that is this the incident they're talking about? Like until they meet that day, does Harold end up at God Valley, or do they never see each other again? I guess we'll have to see if Rox survives this, and maybe he ends up on Elbaf again. I know some people have been theorizing whether or not Rox witnesses Harold's death. We don't know, but we'll find out soon enough. But yeah, this is an amazing chapter. I'm always the most hyped for these flashback chapters and lore piece. Like when we get more lore connection to the series. So learning more about Davy Jones, who was dropped all the way back in Long Ring Longland, maybe earlier. I know at least Long Ring Longland, and they're starting to connect all of these things. So I'm curious to see what is going on with the Davy clan, and if there's more specific clans like the Monkey Clan, uh, the Trafalgar Clan, like these different D clans. What are their connections to the Void Century, the ancient history? Are there different clans that have different responsibilities? Kind of like in Wano, we had like the Kozuki clan, the dang, what was the clan? That other clan, and we have the Shimotsuki clan that I think Ryuma's clan was the Shimotsuki that Zoro was related to, and Kuina and the others. Do like those who left Wano in the past. What was the name of the clan that was getting terrorized that Orochi was a part of? What was Orochi's clan name? Kurozumi, right? Oh, Kurozumi. I was about to look it up. The Kurozumi clan. So like I wonder if just like in Wano that the D clan has different clans that are represented and connected to different things, known for different kinds of reasons. Like maybe they're specialized in different important aspects of carrying on the history or certain types of skills. I don't know. We'll have to find out. But this is a great chapter. I'm super hyped for this to be my first live reaction to any of the chapters. So I'm hoping in the future I'll do an analysis of this chapter, try to make some more connections, and in the future do some more live reactions. I'd like to also do some live reactions to some anime as well as to other manga. But we'll see. I got to put some content on this channel, do a channel trailer, intro videos, and like kind of, I mapped out some content, but I need a better strategy for platforms I'm going to use for streaming and editing videos and all of that. But I just wanted to make sure I got my first video out. So this was awesome. This is awesome. But all right, this is great. What do I call? I don't even know. I know people like to rank chapters. It's hard for me to rank chapters. I feel like it's crazy for me to say 10 out of 10 chapter, but this was a great chapter. Like there was no lull in this chapter. Nothing I really disliked. I just really enjoyed this chapter. It wasn't one of those chapters that's like jaw dropping for me, but I still think it's amazing, and I'd be interested. I don't think anyone is really going to watch this video because I'm just a random person streaming for the first time on YouTube. But if anyone does come across this and wants to comment what you're looking forward to for the next chapter. What's one question that you want answered by chapter 1160? And if I get any comments on this, I'll pin that comment or the best ones so I can put that into an analysis video. But thank you all for riding with me on this journey, sailing this ship to chapter 1159. I don't know if I'll post a clip breakdown with timestamps after the stream. Maybe I'll do that in the future once if I start to gain like a following on this. But if this is part of your ritual week to week, like it is me reading these chapters, and you want to add this to your post-chapter ritual, please follow my channel, comment some of your wildest, craziest theories and thoughts with your best evidence. And please subscribe to my channel for weekly reactions and long form videos. And of course, support Ichiro Oda and read the chapter on Viz, Manga Plus, anything else. I can probably put some links in the description for future videos. I know I personally support the chapters in that way through the officials. But I know that if I want to keep up with streaming and just making content, it might be best for me to also I don't like reading spoilers because I like to be hyped for the chapter. But when the chapters are released days in advance, like the officials usually come out on Sundays, so maybe I'll do the leaked chapter reactions, and then I'll do like a reaction to the officials with the better, I guess I said better, the more official English translations to see if there's any like major changes between the fan translations and the official translations, and then like do some more analysis between that time. So yeah, what else is coming up? Yeah, 3 days we'll see that the next one start to come up maybe in that like September 7th to 8th window. So I'll direct people there. Do I have the link to Viz? I could put that in the chat too. I'm just gonna put the Viz link here in the chat. I don't know if the chat will stay up when people go, but yeah, support the Viz. Yeah, what else? What else is going on? I'm just wondering what Monkey D. Dragon is going to do here. Like, I don't know how strong Monkey D. Dragon is at this point. Like, we know that his father is very strong. Of course, like he's the hero of the Marines. And if he's anything like Luffy, he must be strong. I just don't know how strong he'd be at this point. I don't know if it said his age. I have to go back and do some math and figure out how old. Wait, so it's how old is Monkey D. Dragon? Because this is like 39 years. He's 55 years old. So like, he's like 16, 17. Oh, so he's like the age that Luffy was when he started his journey. So I wonder if he's at least as strong as Luffy. Like, so I guess it makes sense. He's probably not that strong. He's definitely not God's Knight's level if he's like 16, 17 right now. Because Luffy was fighting against pirates like Buggy in the East Blue and Arlong. So, and like Don Krieg. So yeah, he's probably in that level. Maybe a little stronger if he was trained directly by Dragon, but if Luffy's upbringing is anything like Dragon's, maybe Garp didn't directly raise him. I wonder if we'll ever see Garp's wife, like Monkey D. Dragon's mother, but we know how Oda is. Mothers don't make appearances that much in the series, but yeah, it is a great time. So I'll end the stream here and start working on cooking up what's going to happen next. But like I said, if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get updates on when I start streaming and posting other chapter reactions, analysis videos, deep dives, and anything else that comes in the future. But again, my name is Makhai. Welcome to Makhaioshin, and I hope to see you all in the near future. Take care. All right.